Hello friend, and welcome to the slowest sim driving channel on YouTube, where we return once more to the Mudkhana. We're going to send 6 more controllers around the Mudkhana circuit. Starting off with the Gears of War Edition Xbox One controller, and this controller is done really well in Dirt 5. Can it catch up to the knack-on wired PS4 controller on 2 minutes 23.7 around here? Still coming up later, we've got the Logitech G923 versus the new Thrustmaster Eswap XR wheel, so you don't want to miss that. Starting out pretty well with this car. It's it's been a while since we've been here. There's been a few little updates to the track, just aesthetic, nothing actually has changed on the circuit itself, so nothing's going to affect the time. This seems like a pretty safe one at the moment. The Xbox One controller is quite good. It's one I raved about during the Dirt 5 trials. But it's just simply very accurate. It's got very strong but clear force feedback, a little bit deep in there. Got to go around that tree. To get it wrong there and go into that tree, it costs so much time. Also, we've got the DualShock 2 coming. Can it beat the DualShock 1? Can it beat the DualSense? We will find out later on. This is a pretty good run. The car looking pretty planted for this one. It turned in there. Oh, that was a bad landing. Something you can do when you get too much throttle. But all in all, this is pretty good. 66% of the way through. There's been no major incidents yet. There is major incidents that mess things up. When I do these runs, the controllers run in random order, and it's only the faster run, because they have 2 runs, which is actually put on the leaderboard. Through the wet stuff into the mud bowl. This is where it gets really slippy and difficult to control. It's a very fast corner just here, but also a very slippy corner. You can avoid that water on the left, make up more time. Sharp right to go, and then it's planted to the finish line. Let's see what our first time of the day is. I don't think it's quite made it. I don't think it's reached that 223.7, so we've got a 225.451. That is the second fastest controller we've had so far, so that's a really good start. Up next, the Logitech G923. I've been without this wheel for a while and I have missed it. I really have. I've been on the Thrustmaster T300 for a while. I've just pinched this back to make the Controller Wars videos, and straight away having some issues. I found the pedals to be very unfriendly. Having used the Thrustmaster pedals, really struggled. It felt like the controls were lagging almost, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me being out of practice with the G923. Either way, great to have it back. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there. Too heavy with the throttle. I do find that controlling Forza Horizon 5 with wheel is much harder than controller. I don't know why that is. I don't know if other people have the same issues, but I'd love to hear from you down below if you found one control type far easier than another. I think its first job here is going to beat the Hori Racing Wheel Apex at 3 minutes 29.567. And of course the old PS4 version of that wheel, which really did have a very, very rough time here. It looks like things are not going too badly now with the 923. It's a little bit oversteery. I don't know why. There you go, just another example of that, but I've actually left the car lined up pretty well. But on the whole, it's pretty good. The feedback feels nice in Forza. Going into the muddier, hard to control section again now, so we're going to avoid those puddles, because puddles are the enemy here in a time trial. Tight, and over the bumpy bits. That's looking all right. This might actually be a good time. This might even challenge the Thrustmaster T300 RS on 2 minutes 50.3. See, that's so much easier to straight line that bit rather than follow the racing line. It's all good, can't really avoid that particular puddle. We're nearly there now. Got to take that fast left-hander again. 2 minutes 20 at the moment, so whoa! Not going to challenge the top controls. Oh, there's the wheel spin, the oversteering. So we've missed out. I think we're not going to beat the Razer Black Widow keyboard, which did astonishingly well, really. Oh, it is going to beat the Thrustmaster T300 RS, though, by some margin. I believe a 2 minute 37.246. Just 5 seconds behind the Razer Black Widow, around 13 seconds faster than the Thrustmaster T300. Fantastic. Moving on, we've got the DualShock 2. I have 2 DualShock 2s, but unfortunately I've had to dispose of one because it stopped working, and funnily enough it was the one I tried to run on here, so typical. So this is the backup DualShock 2. Of course the DualShock struggling with braking accelerating control because there's no analog braking and acceleration on the triggers. Altogether it's not bad. I think the fact that the controller has a familiar grip helps with muscle memory. Overall, not a great run though. 2 minutes 30.1. Onto the Gamester 3. Another one of those old PlayStation things that is just a little bit hampered by the fact it hasn't got analog triggers on it, and probably more hampered by the fact that the control system is just plain weird. It's so difficult to control. Even though this was the second run, it was still just absolute craziness. It's never going to break any records, but will it challenge the Thrustmaster T300? Will it challenge the Logitech G923? We're about to find out. The G923 is out of reach now. It might beat the T300 though. Just power it to the line. I think it's beaten the T300. We have a 2:37.563, so that's right behind the Logitech G923. So right down there near the bottom, but sadly not challenging anything up near the top. Up next, the Thrustmaster Eswap XR Forza Horizon 5 Edition with wheel module. This is the one that's going to go up against Logitech G923. Is it going to be fast enough? We're going to stay with this and find out. A little bit oversteery through there. As I mentioned in my my first opinions video of this, it's a little bit oversteery because the actual throw from left to right is only about 45 degrees, so you can overdo it quite easily. How are we through here? Oh, that's pretty controlled. If a little bit slow, perhaps maybe too controlled. We're going to go for a tight left here, and then here we go. We're going to go into the jump. Get this turned in here. It's not easy to get that turned in straight actually, because there's a bit of a dip there. You lose all forward steering for a moment. You don't have rear steering. What am I talking about? Very sharp corner here, probably the sharpest corner on the track. Avoid the trees, avoid the first tree. Oh, we've got to go around the second tree. So, not great. Couldn't quite get the car in position. That could cost some time. All in all, it's not looking bad. The car drifting nicely. Fairly easy to control, but a little bit oversteery there. That again, down to the very short distance in the steering, and also the fact that the driver is ancient. Up we go. Into the muddy section. Final section of the race, the final 1/3. Oh, we've hit the puddle on the right hand side there. That's going to scrub some speed off. But that's okay. This is still quite a good run, despite the little issues that have been going on, because the wheel is keeping the car quite, I don't know how to describe it really, quite pointed in the right direction, shall we say, for lack of technical terms in my old brain. It's going to be good. It's going to be up there with the 923, I'm sure of it. Maybe even better. 211, doing pretty good. There's just this corner and then the tight right just here, and we can just gun it to the line. We've missed out on the neck on, so it's not going to be up at the top, but it's still going to be quite a good time. A 2:25.769, so it just misses the Xbox One controller. That was a really good run, and that is the fastest wheel so far by some margin. Okay, let's give the XR a run with the stick module. So this is the only controller really that's going to be in two different categories, in a wheel and a joypad. A little bit strange, but there you go. It's getting a little bit oversteery, but you know, that's just this car and the way it's set up. Into the jumps we go for the first time. Lovely, nice and straight. No big issue there. Got a tight lefter here. Negotiates that without a problem. And this bit here is actually harder than it looks. You really line it up to get through there, and you find yourself scrubbing speed if you don't get that lined up. So, yeah, quite a critical section that. We're going to go back over the jump the second time before we go into the forest section. Here we go, past the balloons. Yes. Landed pretty well. There's that sharp left-hander coming up. I avoided both trees, but the car came almost to a standstill there in the mud, so I don't think I really gained anything there or lost anything. It was just a bit meh. Is this going to challenge the Nakon at the top spot? Because this is, despite that crummy exit from the hairpin, this is a pretty good run. Pretty good run. So into the mud section for the final time today. Oh, that was a bit leery actually. The back end there stepping out, the car sliding to the left. Not really what you want when you're trying to make up time. Still fast though. We're about to hit the 2-minute mark, which means it's a countdown. Here we go, about to go into that fast section. Well, it should be fast. You know, I'm an old person who doesn't drive fast, but it should be fast. Here we go. Bit of a banked corner. Avoid that puddle on the left. Out of here, we've got a tight right coming up, and then we're going to see we've missed out on the Nakon. That's not happening. Going to beat the Xbox One controller? Don't think so. I don't think so. It's a 226.080. The Thrustmaster Eswap XR there with a fairly good time, but it's the Nakon Wide PS4 controller that sits up on top. The Thrustmaster Eswap XR wheel module now sits at the top of the wheels. So that's doing everything it's designed to do, everything Thrustmaster told us it would do, but the Nakon Wide PS4 controller is still the top dog. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll be testing some more controllers out very soon. Until then, big thank you to our sponsor Button Bashers, the PCs, consoles, games and accessories. Thank you to our Patreon for supporting the channel in their unique way, and of course the Discord for keeping me motivated to make these videos. You are all legends. Until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to those around you. Bye bye for now.